Hi everybody, in this video we are going to learn something about the movement of continents and plates, the so-called plate tectonics. Earth, the magnificent planet, the distinctive pattern of land. Despite the beauty of the earth, there are so many questions to be answered. Why isn't Earth's surface the same everywhere? What led the formation of these different features? What is the phenomenon behind volcanoes and earthquakes? Are the continents safe, solid, fixed in their place forever? All these questions can be answered in one simple process called plate tectonics. Plate tectonics is the phenomenon that causes volcanoes, earthquakes, mountains, and destruction of the sea floor. Because the Earth's crust has constant surface area, the same amount of land created must be absorbed into the Earth. Where the plates separate, new plates are formed which are destroyed again when they collide. Scientists believe 200 million years ago there was one big supercontinent called Pangaea, which broke apart into today known 7 continents. But how did the continents break into pieces? The answer is convection streams. Because of convection, hot water rises from the bottom to the surface, cools down, moves sideways, and sinks back down, heats up again and rises. The same thing happened in our Earth. Hot rock rises, heated by the Earth's core, near the surface of the mantle, spreads in 2 directions and goes sideways. It begins to lose heat eventually. The much cooler rock sinks by turn. Through the spreading process, the Earth's crust is dragged apart and this causes the continents move. Where the plates converge, the cooler plate is pulled under the second plate and dives in the mantle. There the plate material melts, releasing carbon dioxide, and the material rises again during an eruption. It's an endless cycle.
To understand about plate tectonics and continental drift, we need to look deep inside the Earth. The Earth's interior consists of several different layers. This is the inner core, which is believed to be solid iron, which is very hard. This is the outer core, which is believed to consist of hot metal in a liquid state. The mantle is a semi-liquid layer. The mantle is the thickest layer. The mantle's outermost portion is solid. Above the mantle is the outermost layer of the Earth, the crust. The crust includes both continental crust and oceanic crust. It is referred to as lithosphere. If we look closely, the shell is cracked. The red glowing lines mark the place where the Earth is cracked into tectonic plates. Each plate carries a continent or an ocean basin, or sometimes both. The plates are moving at an average rate of 1 to 2 inches a year. Now the question is, why the plates are moving? Scientists believe that the material in the mantle is circulating. The moving mantle causes the plates above to move as well. Here, the plates are moving apart in opposite directions. The area where the plates are moving apart is called divergent boundary. In some places, the plates are colliding. The area where the two plates are colliding is called a convergent boundary. In other places, the plates slide past each other. This area is called a transform boundary.
Let us learn about the plate boundaries in detail. There are three different kinds of plate boundaries. First one is called divergent plate boundary. Divergent plate boundaries exist between two tectonic plates that are moving away from each other. Now we separate into two kinds of divergent boundaries: boundary on ocean floor and boundary on continents. In the first one, lithospheric plate lifts apart and new oceanic lithosphere is produced. This is called seafloor spreading. An example is the so-called Mid-Atlantic Ridge. This is an undersea chain with volcanoes and earthquakes. The second one exists with a continent and produces rifts which eventually become rift valleys. For example, the Rift Valley in the southwest of Iceland. It's part of the boundary between the Eurasian and the North American plates. The second plate boundary is called convergent plate boundary, whereof three types exist: convergence between two oceanic plates, convergence between oceanic and continental plate, and convergence between two continental plates. When two oceanic plates collide, it creates an oceanic trench and a volcanic island arch. The best example is the Mariana Trench. When two continental plates collide, it creates a mountain chain. An example for this is the Himalayan mountain ranges. The third kind is called transform boundary. The example for transform boundary is San Andreas in California. Now let us summarize this video quickly. Before everything started, there was Pangea. The convection streams cause the Pangea to break and the continents move apart. There are three types of plate boundaries: divergent plate boundary, where the plates separate; convergent plate boundary, where the plates collide; transform plate boundary, where the plates slide past each other. I hope you enjoyed watching the video.